October the 28th, mammals. With the great abundance of fruits and nuts in October, and the avid collecting and consumption of them by London's mammals, it can provide a better opportunity to see some of the shire species. Species that rely on insects as much as bats do may have already started hibernating, whereas others are now either looking for winter quarters or setting up winter territories. For this reason, there is considerable movement, especially among juveniles, many of which get predated upon or run over by cars during their wanderings. As food is now becoming urgent, if enough fat reserves are to be built up to survive the winter, some species, such as hedgehogs, may well be seen foraging even during the day. River mouths and estuaries and London are good places to look for foxes. Otters may even be moving there to ensure a supply of food throughout the winter. There is one noticeable exception to the sparsity of mammal sightings in October, and that is red deer. The greatest mammalian spectacle of the year is their rut, and it is now at full tilt. Below the formidable spread of horns noticed last month, stags are now sporting impressive manes. Having been content to browse with other males early in the year, they now cannot stand the sight of them. Loaded with testosterone, they are hell-bent on fighting each other for the possession of a harem of perhaps 10 to 20 females. In places such as Richmond Park, in comparative safety, they can be seen digging their hooves into the ground, thrashing trees with their antlers, rolling around on the earth, and bellowing loudly. This is all designed to intimidate any rivals. Impressive head clashes do occur, which may result in broken antlers or severe wounds. In wild populations rather than park deer, horns locked in combat has resulted in a long, protracted death of exhaustion and starvation for both combatants. Even park deer are notoriously skittish this month, so it is wise to view them from afar with binoculars. Fortunately, their bellowing carries a considerable distance. During any head clashes, males, which are 5 years old or less, have little chance of success. The same is true of any stags of 11 years or more. Generally, it is the 8-year-olds that stand the best chance of winning. They can often be recognized by their 8-year-old antlers, which should include brow tines, bay tines, tiny tines, and a number of tops, although this is not always the case. During any skirmishes, it is worth watching out for other males surreptitiously stealing any hinds that may have wandered off. After the battle, the hinds seem unconcerned as they are rounded up by the winner. Red deer started their rut last month, but fallow deer wait until mid-October to start theirs. Their rut can also be seen in Richmond Park as well as Duckwood in Havering. The buck fallow deer produces more of an eerie growl rather than bellow. He also scrapes the ground, creating shallow depressions, in which he urinates, leaving his typically pungent, rotting odor. If trees are seen gouged by buck's horns, this may indicate it is their traditional rutting stand. Males will walk parallel to each other in such places, prior to any clash, sizing each other up and giving their opponent a last chance to escape. Sometimes a number of males can be seen parading up and down in this way. In contrast to all this extravagant behavior, most other mammals, including badgers, are just busily collecting and eating food to build up their reserves. New diggings may be noticed where young badgers have either endeavored to reopen a disused set or are in the process of digging a new one. When these juveniles wander outside their parents' territory, they risk a severe mauling from other badger families. Although they have a life expectancy of 5 to 8 years, many will die in the next 12 months. Now they really take advantage of fallen fruit, sometimes eating so many plums their droppings turn purple. If any are seen along the southern edge of London, it's often on a slope. Their curious lumbering gait is partly due to their legs being longer on one side of their body than the other, presumably an adaptation which helps them to move more quickly on hillsides. Fox cubs, although now quite independent, may be seen travelling together. In London, they are a little more wary than their country cousins. When the mating season starts, these juveniles will separate. Their scent glands are now fully developed, and they definitely smell strongly of fox. This all helps to mark a territory, along with urine, feces, a lot of anal rubbing, and the occasional scream. They will, however, not become fully mature until December. The house mouse, described by Robert Burns as that wee, slicket, cowering, timorous beastie, is not so timid this month, as it tries to enter our houses, looking for more comfortable winter quarters. It is not only the house mouse that may attempt this in October, but also the wood mouse and the yellow-necked field mouse. The latter species is even credited with climbing vertical walls in order to gain entry. Fortunately, it is much rarer than the other two, and possibly only the residents of Redbridge need to be on the watch, especially if they live near Claybury Wood. If one of these mice has gained entry, it is easy enough to determine which one. House mice are grey in appearance and often have a greasy-looking coat. In wood mouse, the coat is more of a hazelnut brown. They also have longer ears and more prominent beady eyes. The yellow-necked mouse is similar to the wood mouse, but has more of an orange-brown coat, as well as a yellow bib, although the bib is not always distinct. Other distinguishing factors are its larger size and paler underparts. Dormice, although already hibernating, may have picked a roof space in which to do so. Their burrow of choice appears to be Bromley. However, it is more likely they will seal themselves into a carefully woven nest of honeysuckle strips and are sleeping at the bottom of a hedge, probably somewhere harvest mice may have already taken up residence. Any voles that may be seen this month are all instantly recognizable because of their blunt noses, short ears, and plump appearance. The three species found in London are more easily separated by habitat rather than the colour of their fur. Field voles are yellow-brown and are usually found in rough grassland where there are plenty of tussocks. Bank voles are reddish-brown and prefer to live in hedges or scrubby ground with good ground cover. Water voles are quite different, being chocolate brown and, like Ratty in Wind of the Willows, prefer the edge of a well-vegetated, slow-moving river. There is still some possibility of seeing a bank vole as they feed during daylight hours. Some years, field voles reach plague proportions and are seen a lot more. This month, water voles may also be seen fighting with other water voles over the boundaries of their 200-metre-long river frontages. Places to look for such quarrels are the quieter stretches along the rivers Lee, Ingerbourne and Crane. London also has 3 different shrews, and fortunately for us, they all coexist in Richmond Park and Wimbledon Common. In October, you can sometimes hear squeaky squabbles over territory. Both the common and pygmy shrews have fierce teeth with orange-red tips. Water shrews have white teeth, but if we are bitten, their toxic saliva can cause an unpleasant burning sensation. Generally, they are not seen unless dead, as their numbers are plummeting. There are several reasons for this. They are particularly prone to suffer in bad weather, and any wandering young are easy prey for foxes, owls, and domestic cats. On top of this, they have the perennial problem of having to eat every 2 hours to remain alive. Many old males now have worn-out teeth and simply just die of exhaustion. Although most rodents, other than rats, may not easily be seen, this is not true of squirrels, which are still chasing and scolding each other. They are often so determined to dig up or bury food, they are bold enough to do it just inches away from us. Bulbs recently planted in soft soil in gardens are almost a magnet for them, and any holes left are the perfect place to bury walnuts. Young stoats and weasels are now prospecting for new territories, and whilst doing so will be picked off by foxes. If they are seen crossing roads in car headlights, weasels tend to bound across with their tails held high, whereas stoats make more undulating movements. Hidden away underground, moles are busy biting the heads off earthworms and then storing them in one of their underground chambers as a safeguard against leaner tines. Occasionally in October, they are known to come to the surface in the early morning and drink the morning dew. Many male bats, after all the rigours of mating last month, are also dying of exhaustion. Females are faring better and busily building up reserves before they also hibernate. If any bats are seen in odd places, it will be likely they're looking for suitable hibernation sites. Small pitchtrels and larger sopranos, consequently it may be seen near woods, natteras along rivers, and daubentons over reservoirs. Noctules are reported on Hampstead Heath and serotynes in several London parks. Other good places to look for them are Wanstead Flats, Brent Reservoir, Highgate Wood, and along the Thames at Teddington.